Okay, we're changing up a little bit here. It's not all just about Batman now that the Batman movie has been released. I did have a couple videos that I had planned for today, but this one does take front and center. The Obi Wan trailer has just released. And let me just say, before I press play, this show is very, very important to Star Wars. They have to get this right.
The fight is done.
Cool. It's like working labor.
We lost.
Awesome.
Stay hidden.
He looks fantastic.
The key to hunting Jedi is patience.
Nice.
Jedi cannot help what they are. Their compassion leaves a trail.
Nice.
The Jedi Code is like an itch. He cannot help it. Where is he?
He looks so good. Yeah, that was nasty. They chose a perfect time to make the show when they did. I believe this is taking place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith or somewhere around that time. And Ewan McGregor does look the way, Obi-Wan would probably look during that time. Now, of course, there's always the age-old issue with Alec Guinness in episode 4 aged like 90 years. He's so much older than Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan. There could be so many reasons why something like that has happened. Maybe there's an ability in the Force that Obi-Wan discovers where he has to mask his age and maybe look a little bit older so people don't recognize him anymore. Maybe, just simply PTSD and stress. Maybe that really aged him, gave him the white hair and just made him look really, really old compared to Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan. Regardless of how he looks in A New Hope, though, he looks fantastic here. He's got the longer hair, the bushier beard, and a little bit more wrinkles, and he does look tired. I also love how they're keeping it very accurate in the sense of how he watches over Luke. Of course he's going to reside on Tatooine, but I do like how he checks in on Luke every now and then, kind of peering at him through the binoculars. About 9 to 10 seconds into the trailer, you see him doing some sort of manual labor, and I love that because he does have to keep his nose to the ground. He does have to make sure nobody knows who he is and nobody knows of his survival. I can't wait to see what's in store for him, and I can't wait to see what it is that takes him off Tatooine and brings him back to being a Jedi, because we all know this show is not just going to be on Tatooine. All right, so about 40 seconds in, you see this massive base in the middle of the water. I don't exactly know what this could be. I do have a guess that it is some sort of inquisitory castle, some inquisitory base that the Inquisitors can, work out of and train. They're essentially dark Jedis. If you don't know what a Inquisitor is. And then immediately following that scene, you do see an Inquisitor. And I'm wondering if that's the Grand Inquisitor who we've seen in the Rebels TV show. I'm not exactly sure. He does look a little bit different live action, but it does seem like every single time we've been getting cartoon characters into live action, they do change their appearance ever so slightly. You also do get a really cool quick shot of like this boardroom where the Inquisitors are sitting around. And you get a couple of scenes throughout the entire trailer of Moses Ingram, who she seems to be playing an Inquisitor herself. I don't exactly know what Inquisitor she is. I don't know what's in store for her in the show, and who even knows if she's going to make it out alive. But she definitely looks as if she's going to be playing a pretty big role in the show. And then there's a great shot of Sung Kang as an Inquisitor, who we have seen his Inquisitor in the cartoons before. I'm blanking on some of the names of these Inquisitors, but I know we have seen him in Rebels. And I mean, he's a great choice for this particular character. I love the look of that samurai top hat. But that scenery is beautiful. It does look very reminiscent to Coruscant. I'm not exactly sure if this show is going to bring us back to Coruscant. That would be really cool, considering the last time we've seen Coruscant was Revenge of the Sith. And yes, we did technically see it in Rogue One, but barely. Like, you're just in a room in a building on Coruscant. You barely see the city. Now, the trailer puts a heavy emphasis on the fact that, yes, the Inquisitors are hunting Jedi. And the Grand Inquisitor has a fantastic line essentially saying that Jedis cannot help what they are. They are controlled by compassion. And I'm almost getting this sense that so many bad things have been happening recently with the Empire and on Tatooine that maybe at one point a Jedi makes themselves known. And this is what makes the Inquisitors come to Tatooine and try and solve this Jedi problem. Now, the question is that Jedi Obi-Wan, or is it actually another Jedi? Obi-Wan himself understands what's at stake. He knows that if he ever makes himself known, Luke will be in trouble. And he just cannot afford that. I mean, when we think about the Clone Wars, right? There were tens of thousands of Jedis. It's not going to be easy to completely eradicate every single Jedi, even with Order 66 and Anakin turning to the dark side. It's just not going to be feasible in one moment. That is why over the years, video games, cartoons, comic books, novels, TV shows, we see hidden away Jedis who have survived the attack on Order 66. It's not going to be easy to get rid of tens of thousands of Jedis like this. Is it really that hard to believe that maybe another Jedi finds himself on Tatooine, or, was hiding on Tatooine and made himself known? No, not really. So I wonder if there's maybe a connection to another Jedi in this show, and it's not just Obi-Wan. He's not the reason that the Inquisitors are there. But another reason why that line is so good is because the Grand Inquisitor, he himself was once a Jedi who, worked in the temple. He was a temple guard. He understands how a Jedi works, and a Jedi can only stay hidden away for so long because their internal feelings to duty and to the protection of civilians and regular citizens always attracts to them. They do have this love of, standing in the face of danger and protecting the weak. And I think that's a great kind of idea to look at this show, because how long is Obi-Wan going to look at what's possibly the storyline and the plot, something villainous? How long could he look at what's going to happen and not do anything about it? We all know that Obi-Wan is one of the most heroic Jedis to have ever lived. So can he really just sit back and ignore things? Essentially, keeping people safe, protection is what a Jedi's true nature is. And let's mention right at the end of the trailer, you hear Darth Vader's breathing. It's a fantastic touch because we all know we're going to be seeing him in the show. Now, whereabouts we're going to see him, don't really know. The show is 6 episodes, and from things I've heard, he doesn't show up for the first 3. He shows up for the last 3. And as we all know, we are getting a fight of the century between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. How this is going to work, I don't really know. The way the fight could end could potentially explain why in A New Hope, when Darth Vader senses Obi-Wan on the Death Star, while Vader seemed a little more calm than he did angry or sporadic or rushed to get to Obi-Wan. And he doesn't even really finish his sentence because, as we all know, he says, "This is a presence I haven't felt since when? Was it Revenge of the Sith? Was it this TV show?" There is no official canonized information of when the last time they saw each other, and clearly the last time they saw each other is going to be this show. Now, of course, it's going to have to end in a way where maybe Vader does have to think Obi-Wan dies, and if that isn't how it's going to work, he certainly cannot know that Obi-Wan is on Tatooine or goes back to Tatooine. They cannot fight on Tatooine because Vader will immediately know that he is protecting something. He's watching over something or someone. There's a reason why Obi-Wan has sat on Tatooine for so long. And this is why I even said earlier, Obi-Wan is not going to stay on Tatooine the whole show. Let's really just get this out of the way. Tatooine is done. It's boring. It's old. We don't care about Tatooine anymore. There are billions of planets in Star Wars, and I'm talking billions of planets that have been created, that have been flown by in movies and shows, that have names in books, that haven't even been created yet because you can just create planets at will in the Star Wars universe. Stop with Tatooine. No more sand or desert planets unless it has some really cool jungle or colorful flower effects or water and I don't know. Even bring us back to Coruscant or Camino or something like that. We need something fresh, even possibly something new. And that is why this show's not going to take place solely on Tatooine. We need to see Obi-Wan get out there at least one last time, solve a massive threat, see how he handles a different environment, and then the show can end with him back on Tatooine. But it makes me excited to see what we could see. You know, Obi-Wan taking on Inquisitors, Obi-Wan taking on Vader, which is a confirmation. Seeing Vader in the first place, and especially with Hayden Christensen. I'm so happy he's coming back. Seeing if there are other potential Jedi that are involved in this story in any way. I mean, we've seen Luke. Is there any way we're going to see Leia? I think one of the biggest things I would want to see from this show, who knows at this point, maybe they would do it, but some Clone Wars flashbacks, live action. Seeing Obi-Wan and Anakin together in their clone armor outfit, something we never got to see in the movies, but we got to see all the time in the cartoons. Now that we have an actress playing Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson, maybe we could potentially get flashbacks of all 3 of them together. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I would love to see it. Maybe a more in-depth look of Order 66 with Anakin raiding the temple. There are so many possibilities here. But the thought of Clone Wars and Order 66 flashbacks, that makes me really excited. Overall, guys, it looks great. Even the music for the trailer was unbelievable. They found a way to fit in some of the best soundtracks that Star Wars has, like Duel of the Fates, Anakin's Dark Deeds, and a couple others. The production looks so much higher than all of the other shows, and obviously it's Obi Wan Kenobi. If they were to pull a Boba Fett route with this show, That's not going to look good. You can already tell Tatooine looks so much better than it did for Boba Fett. There were a lot of scenes where Boba Fett looked like it was done in someone's backyard. This actually looks like Tatooine. So that's a very, very good sign. Production-wise, it doesn't look like it's going to be an issue. A story about Obi-Wan between 3 and 4 has been something I have wanted since I was like 12 years old when Revenge of the Sith came out. Not only is Obi-Wan some of people's favorite Jedi, he's some of people's favorite character in Star Wars or favorite fictional character in general. He is a character that deserves all of this. And so far, so great. But that is it for this one, everyone. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the trailer and what you're hoping to see from the show. If you want to see more of my Star Wars content on this channel, I'll put a link to the playlist in the description below, or I'll just put a tag in this video so you can go watch them. But anyways, that is it for this video, guys. And just like every Star Wars video on this channel ends.
May the Force be with you. Always.